we've stepped outside our big bus so we can talk to James Taylor, but we are battling a little bit with Natalie Williams, who's currently on the main stage at the moment. And James, you're due on the main stage yourself later.
That's right, yeah, we're lined up for 1:30, I think, yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to the festival, of course. What have you got in store for us today? Is it the classic quartet thing, or...?
Yeah, we take the stage as a four-piece, we do our quartet stuff, then we take on horns and flute, Gareth Lecraine, and we do some sort of funky, like the quartet with a horn section, and then we bring singers on. So we expand over the course of the gig, and end with a kind of all singing, all
dancing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really great. So, if you're doing that kind of format today, will you be able to play, or have you adapted any of the orchestral stuff you've been doing?
We have, yeah. We've got some of those tunes in. We've recently made an album with an orchestra up at Abbey Road Studios, which we release in November, and so that's got a 50-piece string and harps and all the rest of French horns, all the rest of it. And we can do that as a four-piece, if you know what I mean. Yeah. In actual fact, the Hammond organ, that's my instrument, is a very sort of orchestral instrument, and you can, depending upon what settings you use, you can get a big sound out of it, or small accordingly. But we'll be gigging that whole orchestral album. It's okay for me to mention a gig at the Cadogan Hall as part of London Jazz Festival. That's Wednesday the 21st of November. So that's James Taylor Quartet plus this orchestra with the new album. The album's called Electric Black.
Okay. And is it a development from the Rochester Choir album?
It's funny because, you know, writing choral music, you work out how to write string parts, because writing for voices is so similar to the orchestra in many ways. So that's how my step towards writing orchestral was by working with the choir. So yeah, it is a development on from that, and it leads directly on from that in musically, actually. But it sounds like it's got that kind of Mission Impossible sort of Lalo Schifrin, Dirty Harry. It's got all of those kind of late 60s, early 70s soundtrack vibes to it, with a lot of heavy, funky drums and Hammond. So it's quite sort of angular and funky and flutes and all of that. It's really the epitome of JTQ's sort of filmic sound, you know.
Yeah. So the whole thing of you being a funky kind of outfit, that's always been part of your setup, hasn't it, really? A kind of a funk thing that you have with the band.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we kind of cut our teeth on the whole thing has been a live thing for us, really. Yeah, we've made 30 albums and all the rest of it, but we're at home on stage, and that's what we've spent our lives doing, just travelling around the world, playing festivals, and we play lots of different festivals. It's good that we can play a jazz festival like this today. It's fantastic. I mean, our next festival in a couple of weeks' time is Cornbury, so that's a rock festival, and our last festival was the heavy metal festival in Spain called Azkena Heavy Metal Festival, which is weird. You'd think, well, that's a bit weird, but you know, the Hammond will lend itself to a few different environments. So we play like everything, man. We play every gig you could possibly imagine.
I mean, that whole concept of you playing these different kinds of musical festivals, you've always prided yourself on advancing your music and taking the quartet wherever you can.
Yeah, and I tell you, the only reason we can do that is because we got the public. Because we got public, we can do a classical album, we can do a funk album or a jazz album. We can go where we think we need to go, and and hopefully bring the public with us. I mean, we don't take that for granted. We've kind of worked for that. But it means we're not affiliated with any particular label or anything. So we're free, and we have no management. We're really a kind of cottage industry.
You're properly independent DIY, really.
Absolutely. So we're free to make music on any level as we want, and that's a beautiful thing, because we're kind of answerable to no one apart from our public. If they give up on us, and we're done, you know.
Well, hopefully that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Blimey, now you said it.
No, it's okay. Well, listen, thanks very much for coming today, and nice we hope you have a great time on that main stage. Definitely looking forward to seeing the way it develops.
To meet a legend, to meet you, mate.
Oh, don't go there. Don't start that.